Welcome outside of historic Memorial Coliseum, where Kentucky women's basketball just steamrolled Purdue, just beat the absolute crap out of the Boilermakers, 76-35. Not the best game offensively for Kentucky. They kind of started out hot, or at least hot compared to the Marshall game, where at the end of the first quarter it was 9-6, whereas this game, you were in the first quarter, I think you had 14 points maybe? No, it's 23-13. So it looked like you're on pace for, 80, 90 points, looking good. Still got 76, so not like a bad night, looking there. But, the offense was just a little streaky, off and on. But the defense continues to just look like one of the best in college basketball. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, Purdue, I think I wrote in my prediction when I did this, when I wrote today's game preview, the KSR Game Day post, I was like, if Kentucky gets to 70, they win. I mean, I technically was not wrong, but that was me anticipating, okay, Duke's going to be a team that, they're going to get in the 50s, maybe the 60s. Kentucky held Purdue to 35 points, 20% shooting from the field. I mean, again, I'd have to go back and look at the metrics. I know I released some stats, I believe it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday when I was talking about how, Kentucky's defense looks like one of the best in the country. On Bart Torvik, I know they were number 11, number 12 on adjusted defensive efficiency. That number is only going to continue to ascend. Kentucky, we've seen and heard the stat in men's basketball where, each of the last 10 plus national champions on the men's side have been top 20 in both offense and defense. Well, I think Kentucky's close on offense, but they're definitely there on defense. I don't know what the adjusted numbers look like for the offense. I just haven't dove into that. But I mean, a 76 the lowest point total? Well, 75 actually against Morehead State. What was the Marshall score? Let's see. Maybe we got lower in Marshall. I don't remember. But regardless, the offenses look good so far this season. But again, I think the theme that you're going to see this season is Kentucky's offense is going to be a little in, a little out, but the defense is always going to be right there to help you get through. Right? They say defense wins championships, so that always helps. You got a really good game from Claire Strack, right? 17, 13, and 5 blocks, which is crazy to me because I'm sitting there watching the game, and I don't even know if she had her best outing ever. But you look at the stat sheet at the end of the day, 17, 13, 5, and you're like, oh, Claire Strack is still an All-American, is still one of the best in the country. Jordan Obi was in double digits. Asia Boone shot the ball pretty well towards the end of the game. Amelia Hassett got hot late. Again, the offense looked good sometimes, looked not great sometimes, but again, it's nice to see those certain pieces come along. I think it's just so intriguing that, I know Purdue lost to Purdue Fort Wayne, right? I know they're not great. I get it. I know, excuse me. I know they're in the, lower half of the Big Ten, but it's still a Big Ten team. And, you come out here and you just beat them. You beat them good. I mean, you're doing what you're supposed to do if you're Kentucky, right? And it's not like you're LSU and you're playing, Poop State and, Poop Tech, and you're sitting there beating teams 120-50 every game. You're getting tested a little bit, But again, just super pleased with this group. Post-game, I talked with Kenny because, as good as the defense was, there was still a lack of communication. Or actually, my wording was, it seemed like there was miscommunication. And I asked Kenny, I was like, correct me if I'm wrong. And he's like, you're right. But I almost think it was more of a lack of communication, whereas, instead of miscommunication as much. And he talked about how, just watching the game, I know on our message board, people were pointing it out. It seemed like they got lost on some switches or, missed an assignment here and there defensively. But at the end of the day, Kentucky still looked pretty good. Again, it's just so hard to complain when you hold a team to 35 points. The crowd tonight, I thought, was actually pretty decent. The number of people in the stands wasn't the greatest. But as you might be able to tell, yeah, you can tell from looking. You all live around here, you probably know. It's wet, nasty, cold. It's not great weather to get out. Of course, you have the men's basketball game. Don't want to talk about that much more. There are reasons that some people just couldn't get out. I feel like we really all started promoting this game, the team, me even a little bit, started promoting this game, maybe a little touch too late. But again, the crowd that was in there, it was a loud crowd. It was a good crowd, I thought. Student section was by far the best it's been all year. They got to keep doing that. And speaking of things they got to keep doing, so at men's basketball games, and I'm kind of going off on a little dumb tangent here, but men's basketball games, okay? Everyone knows the Moni Moni thing, right? What's your favorite colors, baby? Blue and white. They do that every game at men's game. Well, home games, and it's great and it's awesome. Even when we've dominated here at home, they just did that for the first time this season tonight. And people, shockingly, jokingly, not jokingly, what I'm trying to say is actually not shockingly, people loved it. People were doing the blue and white. The da-da-da. Yeah, like people loved it. And I'm just like, look, I'm not saying you have to make Kentucky women's basketball men's basketball, but at the same time, I guess I am saying like Kenny, Coach Pope, they've talked about it so much where it's like, you want to kind of make it all one big Kentucky basketball brand. I feel like that'd be a good way of doing it, kind of doing the Moni Moni thing. Imagine there's other things that Rupp they do. I mean, they already have the ice cream here, so that's a good start. By the way, great ice cream. I don't want to hear any of this Rupp Arena ice cream is garbage. It's great, okay? You just have to enjoy it and stop being so petty. But just getting back to the actual game a little bit, I thought Kaylin Carroll gave some good minutes. Her minutes were pretty limited. I noticed she it was blended in with her socks. She was wearing white socks and had a white ankle brace on. I don't think we need to make much of it because I thought she was moving around fine. You're never going to find me like asking a coach, what's going on with Kaylin Carroll? Notice she had a brace on. You're not going to find me asking that if it doesn't look like it's really affecting her play. Maybe it's precautionary. Maybe it's, maybe she did like mess it up last game or in practice. But, I mean, she looked fine moving around out there. So, who cares? She looks good. There's no point in bringing it up, right? I think Kaylin Carroll would be like one of Purdue's best players, if not their best player. I mean, I know her stats. I haven't looked at the stat sheet a whole lot tonight following the game, but I know her minutes and her numbers weren't like crazy high. But I thought the production you did get out of her was pretty good. I thought Lexi Blue came and did some good things. Hit a three, got people amped up. Josie Gilvin, shout out Josie Gilvin, headband Josie Gilvin. It's like masked Kyrie Irving almost. I mean, didn't have that kind of performance, but Josie Gilvin with the headband, I dig it. I rock it. It brings a nice little like unique touch to the team. Again, talking post game, now that Kentucky has their 2020, so now that Kentucky has what we know to be their whole 26 class signed, right? Because someone asked Kenny, is like, hey, you still trying to recruit in the 26 class? And he was like, we're always looking. You know what I mean? So just the three signees that they did bring in, Kenny went pretty in depth on all three of them. I asked him about, kind of what each three of those signees, and Madden Greenway, Savvy Swords, Emily McDonald, will bring to the team. Just kind of Spark Notes version. Emily McDonald provides that length, that size that you need at the guard spot, and can shoot the ball really well. Those are things that you love. It sounds like Emily is going to be a really good system piece. Fit in really well. Gives me sort of almost Lexi Blue, maybe almost Dom. Well, Dom's hurt, but you're catching my drift. Asia Boone a little bit. Starting to pick up out here. I got to hold this tripod now. And then Savvy Swords, who, Kenny talked about how she's just growing. That gives Kaylin Carroll vibes. I think he was like, I hadn't seen her play since May. Wouldn't have watched her in the summer or, closer to the fall. I think he said about a month ago is what he said. And he was like, she's grown like 2 inches. She's like 6'2.5" now. So that's interesting. And then Madden Greenway, Kenny Brooks compared her to Georgia Amore. He said, I don't want to put this on her, but she plays a lot like Georgia Amore. You're never gonna be mad when your point guard is Georgia Amore 2.0, right? So obviously super talented when it comes to track and soccer too. But again, Kentucky's getting some pretty special kids in the 26 class. May not be done yet, as Kenny said. As we have said over on KSR Plus, that truck is so freaking loud. Good Lord. But yeah, we're going to get inside. I think it's starting to sprinkle again, so I'm really going to try to get inside. Kentucky beats Purdue, beats their, biggest home non-con game of the year, 76-35. Again, we love that score. I'm also going to subject myself to the pain of watching the men's basketball game because I didn't really get to watch a whole lot of it, just to kind of see what went wrong. But yeah, that was totally opposite of what happened in here. Hopefully they get it figured out. But Kentucky women's basketball is 6-0 on the year. They're not 7-0. They're 6-0. And next game. Who are they playing next game? Right. Louisville at Louisville. So that's going to be a doozy. I'm Phoenix Stevens. Outside of historic Memorial Coliseum, it's starting to sprinkle again, so I better hurry up with this. Thank you all so much for tuning in to this rapid reaction. Thank you all so much for always tuning into these rapid reactions and my podcast, everything else we put here on the KSR YouTube channel. So please like, comment, subscribe. If you're still here, like this video. Do it for me, do it for Steven, do it for all of us. Again, I'm Phoenix Stevens, outside of historic Memorial Coliseum, 76-35 Cats. Let's get another win on Saturday.